Welcome back to Great Day. This is exciting on this Friday morning. Mars is about 300 million miles away from Earth, give or take. But here at home, you can learn more about the mission to the fourth planet from the sun at the St. Louis Science Center. And we are so excited to have NASA team member Matt Musynski. Is that right?
Exactly.
I didn't know if I was going to get that. Will Snyder, that's a little easier, from the planetarium at the St. Louis Science Center, both with us this morning. And we're super excited to have you guys here. I'm going to start with you, Will, because I want to talk about what is on display at the Science Center. How long is it going to be there?
Sure, so we're really excited to add to our Mars exhibit here at the McDonald Planetarium and the St. Louis Science Center. We already had several full-size rovers, but now we get to welcome the largest rover and newest one on Mars, Perseverance, and the scale of it is incredible to see it up close. It's practically the size of a truck.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me earlier. You showed me some, and I saw some pictures of it. That's quite a project to get that in the building and set up, I would imagine, right?
Well, not as hard as getting it to Mars, but it was a close call, so we made it happen.
Well, we're glad that's there. It's going to be fun to see. What are the significance of the models and what do they represent?
Sure, so I think people get really excited about the prospect of going to Mars. We're getting close to getting humans there, but in the meantime, these rovers, these robots are really our robotic explorers, our hands and eyes to be able to explore another planet and to see these full-size replicas up close, especially the scale of Perseverance being almost 7 foot tall, I think is really amazing to people. And it can be inspiring too to think that by working together and even with people working right here in St. Louis, we can accomplish something like sending this giant rover to another planet.
Yeah, that in itself is a pretty big deal, right? All right, so let's talk, Matt, about NASA and the Jet Propulsion Lab and the significance of these robotic explorers. Have we learned a lot from them so far?
Yeah, we have. So we landed in Jezero Crater about 2 years ago, February. Jezero is an ancient crater that was once filled with fresh water. That's something we've actually learned since landing. We've been able to confirm that.
So for sure there was water on Mars at one time.
Absolutely.
We know that for sure.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And so now the next step is to try and figure out, was there ever life on Mars? We don't know whether or not there was, but we think that there's a decent enough chance that we've sent this explorer to go check out the geology, look for signs of ancient life, and really excitingly, core rock samples that could potentially be returned to Earth sometime in the next decade.
We learn a lot about Earth by learning about Mars, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Why did Mars lose its water? We don't know the answer to that very clearly yet. Could it happen to Earth eventually? Luckily, not on human timescales. It's not going to happen, so it's nothing we have to worry about. But it still will help us understand our place in the universe.
Some things maybe we're better off not knowing, right? What has NASA and the JPL learned from this mission so far? We talked about that. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, or?
Yeah, I mean the biggest scientific knowledge that we've gained is that this was a freshwater lake and it is a potential place where life could have existed. We've also been able to do some really exciting tech demos. Of course, the Ingenuity helicopter, we've shown that we can fly on Mars. We know enough about flying helicopters that we were able to figure it out and fly in that thin atmosphere with very little gravity.
That was very cool.
Very cool.
That was super cool.
We just passed 50 flights and out of a planned 5, so we're doing extremely well there.
You know, what concerns me, growing up in the 60s and 70s and watching the men on the moon live like I did, is that NASA is always a target for Congress to, grab funds and away. And getting people excited about this, I think, is a way of getting the kind of support that NASA needs. And I applaud the effort. Thanks for bringing that to St. Louis. We appreciate it very much. We have posted a number on your screen. There it is, right at the bottom of your screen, for tickets. The panel discussion, which is coming up, and you'll also see a link to get more information about that. You can find this segment at KMOV.com/greatday following the show.